Hello class, welcome to the online teaching services of St. Thomas High School, Mahua. Today, I, Richa Parekh, am here to further continue with activities number 7 for the students of class 7, subject English, unit number 2, exploring puzzles. My dear students, in unit 2, we solved activity 5, which was a story about Akbar and Birbal. So, activity 6 is also based on the activity 5. Let's take a recap of what was the main motto of activity 5. In activity 5, Akbar and Birbal were strolling, and at that time Akbar took a small stone and drew a line on the land. He insisted Birbal that, come on, now prove yourself with your wit that you are more smart and make the line shorter which I have drawn without even touching the line. So, at last, Birbal took another stone and drew a longer line near to the line of Birbal and hence made it shorter. So, let's see activity 6. Birbal did not make the line shorter than it was when Akbar drew it, but he made Akbar's line shorter than his line. Akbar's line cannot be said to be short. It can only be longer or shorter than other line. Short is an absolute concept. So what does absolute concept mean? Absolute concept means something which can be unchanged. That means it will be as it is forever. So in this story, the line which Akbar drew was not an absolute concept. It was a relative concept. That means it was in relation with Birbal's line, it was short. Akbar's line is shorter relative to Birbal's line. As we think about puzzles and problems, we want to be sure that our assumptions are correct. We want to remember that many things cannot be described in absolute terms. They can only be described in relative terms. So when we are insisting in order to compare such things, we always compare them in a relative format and not the absolute format. So relative things or relative concept is something which can be changed, but absolute concepts can never be changed. Here is another example. A rich man may think that a dosa is very cheap, but for a poor man, the dosa is very costly. Hence here the cost is relative concept. Let's see another example. During winter, you may feel that weather is very cold, but the weather is probably very warm relative to the weather at the South Pole. So here the weather and the cold here is a relative concept. Work in the group or partner to decide that things here are relative or absolute. Mark the relative concepts with R and absolutes with an A. So if you and your classmate disagree, try to think of the examples and then explain your idea. Let's see the first concept. My dear students, you need to write this in the textbook itself. The first one is tall. Tall is a relative concept. Next one, rich. Rich is also a relative concept. Hence the richness can be measured. It is changeable. The next one is free. Free is also a relative concept which can be changed. Dead. Dead is considered to be an absolute concept, as the death of any particular person or animal cannot be changed. The next one is educated. Educated is also a relative concept. And the next one is beautiful. Beautiful is also termed as relative concept because the beauty of any particular person or a thing can be changed. Share your ideas with your classmates. Were there different ideas about the concept in your class? So, once we get back to our regular class, we will be discussing this in our class. Activity number 7. The story of Akbar and Birbal are often based on the puzzles or joke. Here is also a joke. If a camel rider was gone 3 days and he left on Tuesday and came back on Tuesday, how is this possible? Here is a mystery that if a person is going on Tuesday and coming back on Tuesday and he has gone only for 3 days, a week consists of 7 days. But how is that possible that a person leaves on Tuesday and get back on Tuesday? So here the name of the camel on which the rider is going itself is named as Tuesday. Work with your partner or group to write your own Akbar and Birbal story using a setting, dialogue and description. Don't let the story end too quickly, and don't forget the annoyed courtiers. So here, in this activity, we need to write a story. This story must be based on Akbar and Birbal and also the courtiers. So try to make your own story, which may include some kind of interesting facts and puzzles in it. This story is what you need to write by yourself in your fair book. And once we get back to our regular class, we will discuss the same story of each and every student in order to get more amazing stories. Let's start with activity number 8. The title of this activity is It's a Puzzle of Alan Elberg. So here, the poet is Alan Elberg. My friend is not my friend anymore. She has secrets from me and goes out with Tracy Hackett. So here, Alan Elberg is describing one of his ex-friends who used to be with him. But now she has secrets from him and she goes out with Tracy Hackett. That means she has got a new friend named Tracy Hackett. I would get her back, only do not want to say so. So I pretend to have secrets from her and go about with Alice Banks. So in order to make her and in order to get her back, the author Alan Elberg pretends that he also has secrets from her, and he also pretends that he is not going to call her back. So at last, when she goes with Tracy Hackett, he also tries to spend his time with Alice Banks. But what bothers me is maybe she is pretending and would like me back, only does not want to say so. So here, how the author is pretending to go out with Alice Banks and trying to show that she doesn't value her as much as she used to be. So here, the author is bothered. That means he is worried about that what if the girl, that means the friend of the author, is pretending like he is also pretending and does not want to say so that they both care for each other. In which case, maybe it bothers her that I am pretending. But if we both are pretending, then really we are friends and do not know it. So in case if both the author and his friend are pretending that they both are not pretending and they are really friends and do not know about it. So in case that it may happen that both the persons are pretending and both like each other's company, but they both are pretending in order to show that they doesn't hold the same position which they used to have in their life. On the other hand, how can we be friends and have secrets from each other and go out with other people? So here is another assumption from the poet Alan Elberg, that on the other hand, if I think that how can we people be friends because we both hold secrets from each other and go out with the other people. So if in case we both might be normal and we won't be pretending about other people, then we should have gone together. But on the other hand, we are going out with different people, so we cannot be friends anymore. My friend is not my friend anymore unless she is pretending. I cannot think what to do. It's a puzzle. So here the author is confused about his ex-friend and his present friend, that what to do. I am confused. I don't know what to do because my friend is not my friend anymore and I think she is pretending. So let's see the detailed explanation of the poem. Read the poem carefully. Mark any words you don't know and get help understanding or help others. There are 4 people mentioned in the poem. Who are they? The 4 people, those who are mentioned in the poem, is the poet itself, his ex-friend, that is, the name of the friend is not given, and the other friend which the poet goes out with is Alice Banks, and the other person with whom the poet's friend is going out, that is Tracy Hackett. So in this poem there is no dialogue but there is a story. Pretend that all the 4 people in this story accidentally met at a tea stall. Work in the group to write the dialogue between all 4 characters and what will they speak to each other. What will they talk about? You can decide to work an entire dialogue together or you may assign different characters to each group member and let each classmate decide what his or her character will say independently. So dear students, these dialogues we will be writing in the fair book. The answers of this dialogue will be shared with you in the PDF format in the very next class. Till then, stay at your home and stay safe. Start writing your fair book and complete it as soon as possible. Thank you.